Hello, and welcome to LEGO Challenge with the Warren County Library System. My name is Sandy Roberts, and I'm the Makerspace Coordinator for the library. Before COVID, I hosted LEGO clubs at the Southwest branch, but right now that's just not possible, so I moved my programs online instead. Over the summer, I made a series called LEGO Lovers. Each week, we explored different creations made by LEGO artists and LEGO masters. Then we challenged our patrons, that's you, to create their own LEGO masterpieces. You can watch them all on the library YouTube channel anytime you want a bit of inspiration. But this fall, I thought I'd change it up a little bit, and that's what brings us to LEGO Challenge. Each week, I'll have a different themed building challenge for you. In addition to showing you examples for inspiration, we'll talk about ways that you can develop your LEGO building skills. I also want us to stay in touch all week, since we can't be together in the library. So I've created a digital wall on Padlet where you can share what you make. If you go to the website, you can post pictures of your creations and see what others have made. Since I'll be there moderating what's shared, it's a safe place to meet others that love Legos. Okay, let's get on to our challenge for the day. This week, I'm hosting our last Halloween challenge. Today, we'll explore lighting for our Lego projects. From glow sticks to electronics, there are lots of ways to add light to your build. That means you can create spooky haunted houses that glow eerily, or jack-o'-lanterns that glow happily and smile. There's much more that you can do than that, too. So let's get started with some great Halloween light-up Legos. Okay, so let's look at some different options that we have for lighting our Legos and some really cool projects to inspire you. First up, how do we actually add light? Well, you have lots of options. You can buy custom-made kits that are out there. There are some Lego pieces that are available. You can make it as spooky and well-lit as you like, or as simple as, your budget allows. So there are all kinds of different DIY solutions. There are kits, there are Lego parts. Let's take a look at some of what's out there. One of the easiest things you can do is grab a flashlight or some of these little fairy lights or Christmas lights or holiday lights and use those. These little electric tea lights are really great. You can put in a glow stick. Anything like that will absolutely work in your Lego creation. One thing you want to make sure of, though, no actual fire, no actual candles, because they can damage your Legos. After all, Legos are just plastic and we don't want to do that. From there, you can look at the official Lego items that are offered. Now, there used to be more, there were some light up bricks for a while. They don't seem widely available anymore. You can sometimes find them on Amazon and eBay and things like that. Right now, Lego is mostly concentrated on the Lego Powered Up series and the Power Function series. They're similar but have some differences. So let's take a quick look. Okay, Powered Up has motors, power hubs, color, distance sensors, LED lights, all kinds of different things to basically bring creations to life. So these are often used for cars that you want to be able to roll around and things like that. You can control them with Bluetooth. So either the remote control that they make, or you can actually code them with your own device, like an iPhone or an iPad. So it makes it a really versatile solution. We're, of course, mostly interested in these little lights here. And they have a switch. They actually plug in using something that looks a little bit like a phone or cable connection. And then they have two little lights here. And so these are a popular option if you want to go with Lego parts, Lego standard parts. And like I said, you can control them with a switch, you can control them with Bluetooth, and they're pretty easy to use. Now, that should actually say Power Function, my bad. So these are a little bit more like your Technic or your Mindstorm kits, but they are just switch-based, no coding involved. So that's a little bit easier. And you can see that they have the nice bricks, so they're easy to attach. And again, you have motors and sensors and all kinds of things like that, but they also do offer lights in a very similar fashion. So it really just comes down to what your comfort level is with coding, what you're looking to do. You can find these both on the Lego site, or you can find them on other distributors. Sometimes you can find them used. So that's, your official Lego provided pieces. But the truth is, There are a lot, and this is by no means comprehensive, but a lot of different companies that have kind of filled the space left by Lego and offered way more comprehensive solutions for adding lights to Lego. So let's take a look at some of them. These are, like I said, just a couple of the companies out there. There are others that you can find. These are some of the ones that I have seen mentioned in different forums and in different blog posts by Lego builders. So we're going to take a look at them. Okay, first up, this is Brick Loot. This company is pretty cool because it was actually formed by a 9-year-old who's now 15 and is running this as his business. So they offer all kinds of different parts, but their LED sets are really popular. So here you can see an example of their Ghostbusters. They, it doesn't come with the Legos. You build your own Lego set, but then they have customized kits for popular builds. So with this one, you would say, oh, I have the Ghostbusters that, building that I built, and I want to add to it. And so some of the common things you're going to see, this is a USB connector, so this is going to be powered off of that kind of controller. So it's pretty easy to power them. These kinds of bricks are basically meant to be added to clear bricks to create light up creations. And then you can see little things like the traffic light and these lights on the front are controlled with these kinds of tiny little LED bulbs. And then these longer pieces are used inside, and they have multiple LEDs on them that are kind of like, if you put a big fluorescent light in your kitchen, that kind of a thing. So those are nice because they click right onto your Legos. So they have a couple of different options. And like I said, if you have a specific build that you want to add light to, they may have a customized kit, or you can buy your own individual pieces. Next company, this is Lightling. They again have customized kits specifically for different builds. This one is the haunted house. They have lots of different colors available, which is really cool. Some nice battery packs and easy ways to power all of this. So you can see that they added all kinds of different colored lights inside. And again, they have different types, either the individual LEDs or, longer bricks, flat bricks that have multiple LEDs involved. And you can take a look. And again, you can order individual pieces, or if you have a specific item that you want to add light to, they may have a customized kit for that. Light My Bricks, very, very popular. And this one kind of takes it up a notch. This is where you start seeing more of an electronics feel. So, sometimes that can be scary if you're not comfortable using electronics, but you don't need to know a whole lot to be able to use these sets. So you've got, again, your multi-LED strips, you've got individual LEDs. This is nice, especially if you're using it on something like a train or a moving vehicle, because this little battery pack is really easy to attach to just about anything, and it uses a little 3-volt battery. So it's very lightweight, which is really nice if you're doing something that's mobile. They also offer things like sound, so you can actually play sounds through your, in your haunted house if you want it to like creak and moan. And they have, this kind of remote control system where you can control different lights and make them different colors. So you can actually create like a whole lighting scheme that changes. So that kind of takes it up a notch with some of the offerings that they have. Again, they have some customized kits, but you can buy just starter kits to kind of play with and see what you want to add. And they really do have, many levels. But this gives you a lot more control. It's not just mechanical where you put items. Now you're really controlling things with small circuit boards and, these IR controls. So they just kind of take it up a notch there. This is Brick Stuff. And again, this is a more electronics-based set. So you have all these different little boards that are going to help control your LEDs. And again, what's cool here is that you can, for instance, have the colors change. You can have the colors go from green to just kind of like normal lighting. They even have really cool stuff. This little arcade, see that little screen? That is a Lego-sized arcade screen. So if you wanted to add like a little television or an arcade game or something like that, you could using their parts, which is wild. I haven't actually seen anyone else with a little screen like that. So that's really cool. They also offer things like sound, etc. So again, if you want to get a little more into some custom lighting, They do have sets, again, to go with particular builds, but they also have starter packs that you can buy and use. And all of these sites have really good information and user forums, so that's really helpful because you want to see how other people are using it, be able to problem solve if you need to. This last one, this one is Brown Dog Gadgets. This one I actually have used, and it's a little more educational focused than just kind of entertainment focused, which for me is cool. But what I like about Brown Dog Gadgets, this is their Crazy Circuits kit. And as you can see, all of their components snap right onto your standard bricks and your standard plates, which is really, really cool. And they have all kinds of just basic LEDs, nice big LEDs, all kinds of sensors, buzzers, sounds. They even have versions now where if you're familiar with the microbit, which is a microcontroller that you can code very easily, they're inexpensive, they're like $10 or $15. They now have sets that you can control with your microbit, which is very cool. It gives you a whole lot of possibilities. The other thing I love about Brown Dog Gadgets as opposed to some of the others, all the others are wired, like you saw, that in fact, if we go back, you can see, wires, and you have to find a place to kind of stash and hide those wires, which can be challenging to do. There are lots of guides for how to do it, how to weave them in among the bricks so that you don't see it. With Brown Dog Gadgets, you're not going to hide it as much, but it's way easier to prototype because they use this stuff called maker tape, which is a conductive tape made out of fabric. And so you literally can just lay the tape right down on the microbits, which is right down on your Legos. And that's really cool because it makes it really easy to attach lights and things like that. You don't have to try and hide wires. So I think that that's a pretty cool system. And I'm going to show you a short video.
Tonight, we'll make a Lego haunted house that really lights up using Crazy Circuits. First, lay out the Crazy Circuits battery holder, blink fade board, and mini LEDs onto a Lego board. This lets us figure out where to run the conductive maker tape. Place the tape down onto the board in the locations you just identified, then snap the components over the top of them. With a battery in place, the LEDs light up and the center one fades. Next, assemble your haunted house right up and over the electronics. Congratulations, you just made a spooky light-up haunted house. If you want to go crazy, use a Crazy Circuits invention or robotics board to randomly fade even more LEDs for an advanced scene. Or even a spooky dance party. What Lego scene would you light up? Tell us in the comments. Like and subscribe to this channel for more great projects, and come visit us at browndoggadgets.com.
Okay, so hopefully that gives you some ideas of what you can do with lighting and what kind of systems are out there. As I said, that's just some of what's out there. There's quite a lot. You need to do some research. But let's take a look at some of the possibilities. So we have haunted houses. This one's pretty simple. Basically, you could do this with a couple strands of green, string lights, and just basically turn them on and put them on inside your build, and it's going to look really cool. This one I want to show you just so you could see some of what it looks like to have the wiring on the inside. And that can be challenging. Different systems have different ways of doing it. Some are a little neater than others. Some are more focused on can you use the inside and the outside. So it's really kind of up to you what you think works best, what you prefer. But this set has like some custom pieces that actually hold your little LED lights in here. And you're going to need something. That's basically what you can do using the Lego pieces that are out there. The ones I showed you from like the Powered Up series, and then some Technic pieces to basically hold the LEDs in place. And you can see the effect it creates here. This one is great. You're going to see a lot of green lights. I like that this one uses some overhead lights internal lights, and then some right up at the windows to really kind of give you that bright effect. This one is great because two techniques that they're using here that I think are really cool. One, they're putting lights to highlight special areas, like this spider web. They put a light right under it, so it really kind of highlights that, that particular item. Here, they did green up on top and orange on the bottom, so you get this really neat fading effect. And I think that when you're thinking about lighting, you have to think about how colors are going to mix, whether or not you want a light on the bottom or on the top or a combination of the two. So that's cool. And then they also include like a little light on the outside to light the whole thing, which I thought was pretty neat. That's Game of Bricks. They have a lot of different custom sets too. Here, we see that someone really is paying attention to the scenes that they've created inside their creation. And you can see that they've used these lights up on the top to create this very eerie green effect. Now, they went all with one color, and that's fine. You can do that. And that's going to glow really beautifully through the outside. Here again, you can see a really great use of green. I love on this one that they put kind of whiter lights or bluer lights here to highlight this really nice stained glass effect on that haunted house, which is a nice effect. And they've got kind of outside lights to brighten it up, but then also the internal lights to kind of highlight from inside. I want to highlight this because if you don't feel like you want to build an entire haunted house, a haunted scene can be a lot of fun. So this one from Light My Bricks, these are both from Light My Bricks. Here they built an organ, gave it some light from above, very cool creepy scene. Same thing here, some lights from above, you've got the characters going on, really fun. You don't have to, my point is you don't have to do something huge the first time out. You can do something just kind of a smaller scene, like you saw with the Brown Dog Gadgets, a smaller scene. Here are some more scenes. These are all inside the same house, but you could build just one. And I like that they really mixed up the coloring, right? Because you see a lot of green, but why not do purple or orange or red? The other thing I like here is that they really thought about how they use the lighting. This one's kind of up in the corner, a diffuse glow over the whole scene, whereas this one really has two targeted lights to highlight a specific area. This one uses just one light again for that spooky look. And this one uses a more natural coloring and then has extra lights in here for the stove, which I think is a nice touch. Oh, sorry, page from last week didn't get cut out. All right, let's look at some jack-o'-lanterns. Jack-o'-lanterns are kind of a natural choice to add to your Lego Halloween creations, right? So let's take a look at what we've got. Now, these are professional creations for things like Legoland. This is a pretty giant creation. You probably don't have that many Legos sitting around the house, at least not orange ones. But I want to highlight these because I thought, even though this one isn't lit up, they create the illusion of light by using lighter yellow pieces in there to give that illusion of what a lit up jack-o'-lantern looks like. And if you don't have lighting elements that you can use, maybe you can create that pretend effect of a lit jack-o'-lantern. These I included because notice these really neat use of lighter orange and darker orange to create that kind of striping you sometimes see on pumpkins. I thought that that was a really nice effect, and you might want to think about how can I make it look more realistic. So that was a really cool idea. These are some user-created jack-o'-lanterns in 3 very different faces, and this is part of the fun is you can get really creative with how you want those faces to look. All of them use that kind of step technique to create the rounded shape that we've talked about so much this fall. And you really want to kind of plan for these because you need to make sure that structurally the holes that you leave for your face aren't going to cause Legos to fall from above. So you do have to kind of plan that out and really think about it, especially if you want to create shapes like triangles or circular shapes. Squares and rectangles you may want to start with at first, which kind of makes the mouth sometimes easier, but you kind of have to plan to get those eyes. Here are a couple lit up. This is a very simple jack-o'-lantern. Just got a tea light on the inside. This one is more a simple build, a flat build, but this is actually a coded light using the Brown Dog Gadget stuff where the light moves back and forth like a Cylon. So it's got a whole motion element to it. So you can be simple or you can be complicated. It's really up to you. A couple more, these are from ideas.legos.com, where people post their own ideas for kits. They've got a couple of flat kind of almost two-dimensional jack-o'-lanterns, you could put a tea light right behind that and you're gonna have a really fun little jack-o'-lantern. It doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be a 3D build. But here they did do a 3D build, and that's what it looks like with the light inside. It looks pretty cool, right? It looks all orange and red because of the color. The light reflects off the plastic and it gives it a really nice look. Here's another one. This one's a little more complicated. They really went with a crazy face. But what you want to pay attention to when you're making one of these is how is the light going to come through those holes? Is that going to look? And you may need to play with that and prototype with it until you get the kind of look that you really want from your jack-o'-lantern. And like I said, this is a very well thought out face, a very kind of creepy face. Now this I wanted to include. This is from frugalfun4boys.com, and they actually have step-by-step building instructions for these little Lego lanterns. And they have a nice little flip back, and they just use the electric tea lights that I mentioned before, pop them in, and you have a really cute pumpkin, a little cute jack-o'-lantern. And you can vary the face in whatever way that you like. And what I like is that they have step-by-step building instructions to help you out. So if you feel like you need an idea of where to start, this website is going to give you all the help you need. Okay, so what's our challenge? Pretty simple. I want you to create a light up Halloween creation of your own and share it. Here's another set of instructions, lego.com/Halloween. They actually have a 3D pumpkin instructions all the way down to exactly what parts you need and how to build it. So if you need somewhere to start, there's lots of places with ideas, but I would love for you to create a haunted house, a ghost, a jack-o'-lantern, whatever you can imagine, and share it with us so that we can see your creativity. Okay, I hope that provided some inspiration. Well, I hope you have some new ideas for Halloween. This is a great time of year to experiment with adding lights to your creations. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, you can bring a lot of excitement to your builds with light. And once you learn the techniques, you can use them for lots of other holidays like Christmas, New Year's, or Hanukkah. I can't wait to see what you make. With your parents' permission, maybe you can share your creations on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok. Be sure to use #WarrenLib so we get to see your post and enjoy with you. Remember, we have our safe digital wall at padlet.com/WCLmakers/Lego Club. Be sure to share pictures and ideas on the wall and see what others are building so that we can create a community of Lego lovers. Also, be sure to check out Library Events calendar with lots of other fun story times, events, and activities. Coming up for November, we have great performances and talks scheduled, lots of fun STEM activities, fantastic crafts, and so much more. The website has all the information about what days the branches are open, how to use curbside pickup, our new app, and so much more that the library offers. I'll be back again next week at 3 p.m. on Wednesday with more fun Lego Halloween challenges. Until then, my name is Sandy Roberts for the Warren County Library System. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep building.